speech at JP Global Academy School, Chennai. Have been key speaker of Muttamal Villa conducted at our college. As a public speaker, have delivered guest lectures and participated in debates. Had been soft skill trainer at various institutions. Served as the profession trainer at JP Global Academy, Chennai for 2 years. Had been for a motivational talk on It's Now or Never at Savita Dental University. Had been the judge and guest of honor for the inter-school competitions conducted at Narayana Mission School, T. Nagar. Delivered a motivational talk on வாழ்ந்து காட்டுவோம் வா webinar organized by Kamaraj College. My hearty welcome to Navukkarasan. My sincere welcome to all the participants, students, scholars, teachers from various institutions. On behalf of the management, I once again extend my warm welcome to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I request our Principal Dr. T. Kanagaraj, VOC College of Education, to deliver felicitation address. Sir, over to you.
Yes. The most respected Dr. Meena Kumari, Principal APC Mahalakshmi College for Women, respected Professor Navukkarasan Gomadi, Annai Velanganni College for Women, Chennai, and certified trainer of both the international certified organization, ISO certified organization, teachers, students from various institutions. A good afternoon to one and all gathered here. It's my pleasure, great pleasure, to felicitate the 2 days national level online skill training program jointly organized by the APC Mahalakshmi College for Women and VOC College of Education. Both the colleges have done remarkably well under an umbrella, not only to provide high quality education, but also propagate the 3 mantras: Anbu, Arivu, Aram, to all over the world in general and rural unreached in specific. Yes, education for all is our founder Kulapati APC Veerabahu's vision, and this is our strength. APC Mahalakshmi College for Women is a role model institution in the field of higher education. Absolutely, VOC College of Education is also role model in the field of teacher education platform. It is only because the dedication, commitment of teachers, non-teaching faculties, and the sincere efforts of students. In this juncture, I am very much indebted to Honorary President APC Chokkalingam who is the source of inspiration and encouragement to the VOC College of Education and the APC College for Women. Yes, we are living in a world of information explosion. As we know, an unprecedented information revolution is taking place in many sectors of our society. Education is one of them. Education in a planned social order should aim to develop insight into the whole pattern of life in all its interplay of changing conditions. Education should train persons to see a phenomenon or a problem in the context of the whole configuration, so that he may be trained to see targets in their relational perception and seek the ways and means of realizing targets in their proper relationship. We have to educate the person who trusts his imagination without losing sight of concrete facts, who can see the interrelationship of functions and values without being overwhelmed by the multitude, and who strives for quality integration and character building through various skills, absolutely various skills. True development of character is the manifestation of personal maturity, which consisting of steady ordering, systematizing, redirecting of the quality and quantity of latent energies, which consist in the manifestation of the perfection already in man, existing in man. Character development is nothing if not self-development. Character development is nothing if not self-development. The highest education is that which does not give us information, but makes our life very harmony with all existence. There is a general lack of concern among skill providers about the need for imparting a gamut of employability skills required by the students to be successful in their working life. Scientific understanding about the process of development of these skills is lacking among the young generation. Institutions offering skill training today should not only provide students with job-related hard skills, but also must create them an understanding of the underlying knowledge base that would help them to perform the skill effectively and efficiently. In addition to knowing and doing aspects, there is a need to develop work ethics and the inculcation of moral values in the students. Conscious efforts are required to enable the youth to enhance their employability. This is possible by learning a variety of generic skills, entrepreneur's skills, convergent and divergent thinking skills, decision-making, negotiation, and problem-solving skills, along with work-related motor skills. For example, an entrepreneur who wants to start a new business needs to have a variety of skills like making a project report, obtaining necessary clearances, getting loan, managing the project in a given time frame, taking leadership, solving problems, diversifying products and services through innovations, and so on. Educators today have to keep in mind that the 21st century learner has a very different profile. You might be known. Educators, please. He prepares himself to use those technologies in near future that haven't been invented so far. He is or she is likely to undertake jobs that don't exist today even. The young boys and girls remain networked, interconnected globally. They prefer to get engaged in multiple task activities, are digitally literate, and have strong visual and spatial skills. They remain tethered to the internet, want to learn things that matter, and look for challenging jobs. Thus, for the learner-driven education system of today, a new orientation towards skill development is required. And so that working with the hands and thinking with the brain, working with hands and thinking with brains will have to go together such that there is a harmonious development of intellectual and manual skills. Absolutely. A number of personal and social skills, popularly known as soft skills, soft skills have become the essential for enhancing employability in both wage and self-employment. So this is a very good occasion. This is very good opportunity, and this is the right time. And we have to develop skills, technological skills. Developing technological skills is crucial to stimulate the process of economic development. You know the state of the economy nowadays. The backdrop of globalization and open market economy, skill development gains significance not only to use most of the opportunities, but also to meet the challenges of changing technologies and creating a global workforce. It is only through skill development. It is only feasible through skill development, skill upgradation, and skill updating of youth that the national productivity can be improved, employment can be generated, and sustainability of development can be ensured. It is the need of the hour, so that today, and both the colleges, VOC College of Education and APC Mahalakshmi College for Women, have jointly organized this wonderful training program entitled Skill Development. Education is the most powerful weapon. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, the entire world. And it is in the hands of the teachers. It is in the hands of today's youth. And you have to participate for the entire development of the society. Of course, and more than 188 participants are come forwarded and getting ready to develop skill. What it shows that the enthusiasm behind, the enthusiasm, the commitment of youth like you to participate in this program. What it shows that, and you are the nation builders. In the nation building process, you are one of the builders. I hope this spirit of commitment, continues. And whatever the position you are, whether you may be the teacher, principal, faculty member, teaching, non-teaching, even common man, you will contribute your knowledge. You can contribute your experience to find out the solution to solve the problems faced by the country. And so that this is the right time, and both my dear students, Dr. Sangeeta, Dr. Davasuba, has jointly organized this particular skill development program. I really congratulate them. It is always a pleasure to among the youth like you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. Thank you. Over to Davasuba.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Without taking much time, let me introduce our speaker, Navukarashi ma'am. Navukarashi ma'am? Yes. Before joining, participants, you please pin Madhibala presentation. Madhibala presentation, you pin her, and so that you can view the PowerPoint. So I hand over the session to the resource person, ma'am. Over to you. Ma'am, you unmute, ma'am. I just muted your audio. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A very good afternoon to the forum. And I thank the college, the management for providing me one such opportunity. I'm both humble and honored at the same time. And yeah, before beginning the session, I just want to make sure whether you all can see my screen. Is that fine? You can chat, you can text, and am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay. So throughout the session, I just have one expectation from you. One thing is, please do not share your screen by mistake. And the other thing is, mute yourself throughout the session. And that is what my expectation is. And now, talking about the expectation, okay, how did you all plan for the year 2020? Yeah, you can interact with me through the chat box because I want it to be a very interactive session. Yeah, the year 2020 was not just like any other common year, okay? Because like we had so many dreams for the year 2020, okay? Like, yeah, when Abdul Kalam sir, he just talked about 2020, okay? We all had so many ideas about the year, okay? We wish that all the goodness will come to us in that particular year, and everybody had something in our mind to accomplish in that particular year. So the year 2020 was a year of expectation. We had plenty of expectation in us we had plenty of plans for the year 2020. And now the 2020 is here. 6 months have been passed. What do you feel about the year now? Can I have some reply? Of course, like for everybody, the year was something special. We anticipated it. We had been waiting for this year for a very long period, almost for a decade. We were waiting for the year 2020, and now 2020 is here, and we have our experience with the 2020. Now, what do you feel? Unlucky year, unexpected 2020, disappointment, so dreadful. This year was shocking, very bad, expected a lot. Now it is dreadful. Yes, thank you so much for responding. And now you're all calling the year 2020 as a unlucky year. This moment, is anything wrong with the year as such? Did it ask you to expect anything from it? No, we had assumptions in our mind. We expected 2020 to be really good. We expected 2020 to be a visionary year where many good things will come to us. Okay, now you cannot blame 2020. We should blame our own self. We expected certain things in life. We expected this from the year 2020. That didn't happen. And now you call it an unlucky year. You call it dreadful. You just call it an unexpected situation. Yeah, in life we always do have expectation. When a child is born, within a year the child is expected to walk. Okay, and when the child grows up, we expect the child to master himself or herself with certain skills. Okay, when the child is grown up as a man, you expect him to marry. You expect him to be responsible and then you expect him to become a parent. And the society always have many expectations from us. Okay, as a student, maybe as a parent, the parents will expect you to learn well. The parents will expect you to join a college. The parents will expect you to join an IT company where you can make money like anything. Okay, that is the idea, general idea there. And like you joined the engineering college with so many expectations. The moment you join the engineering college, the idea is like you are going to master all the skills. You will know everything. You will know computer engineering, you will know chemical engineering, you will know what IT is, and you know the magic behind the screen. Right now some magic is happening. That is why myself and we both are connected. So in life we always have expectation, and you know what happens with all this expectation? A student goes to engineering, he learns everything. Okay, he learns information system and all those things. It is now there in his mind, and he goes to an IT company, he joins there. Maybe the other day I asked one of my students. Okay, I asked him, what are you doing now? I heard that you are working with the CTS. He said, no ma'am, but I was sure that he was working with CTS. So I asked him, but I thought you were working with CTS. And he told, I'm working with the MS Office. The joke is like after joining the IT company, his project manager asked him to work on an Excel. So he says that he is working in MS Office. So joining an IT field, joining a firm, you have so many expectations. But the expectation, all that the company expected from him after all this education was to prepare a PowerPoint and to make an Excel sheet. And this boy has only one expectation, and that expectation is 10 lakh per annum, the CTC. So in life, we all have expectations, and we want things to go as per our expectations. We all have certain assumptions in our life, the assumptions. And the biggest problem, it comes to us when the biggest problem in our life is the image in our heads and how it should be. We generally have an idea, and the idea is that as if you have written the script, okay, and then you are born on this earth and you are going to enact it on stage. So we have so much of expectation with us, okay, and we want everything to go as per our assumption in life. I'll tell you a very interesting story. One man, he had a dog, okay, and he trained his dog perfectly. Whatever he want to do, he just trained his dog really well. And one day, he asked the dog to go to the nearby village and get some stuff. So he just gave the dog a basket, and then the list and the money was there in the basket. Okay, this dog was so sincere. Okay, it was trained really well. And you know what the dog did? It just took the basket, it went to the bus station, it boarded the bus, and then by the it just brought the got the stuff from the store, and then it came back home very perfectly. The dog took up the task that was given to the dog, and it did it really well. Okay, and on reaching the master's house, what the dog did was it just knocked at the door, because it wanted to deliver the good to the dog. Okay, and the master came out, he opened the door with a stick in his hand. Okay, and he was beating the dog. And like, we might wonder, the dog has done a very good job. Actually, it was very perfect doing the task that has been assigned to the dog. And this man was so horrible, he was beating the dog. And the wife of the master, she was just asking, why are you actually beating the dog? Like, it has done the assigned duty so perfectly well, and why do you beat the dog it? And the master said, the door key is there in the door. I expected him to unlock the door using the key, come in and deliver the good. I was sleeping and he knocked the door and he disturbed me. This is how we have expectations in our life. We always expect things from others, but we fail to do something in our part. We don't have any expectation with us, but we have a lot of expectation with the society. And the system is modeled, the system is moduled that everything should go as per our assumption, everything should go as per our expectation. Okay, when something is not going as per our expectation, what do? Actually, you have to expect the unexpected, because you are not the God who have scripted life. Okay, God has his own plans for life. You expected 2020 to be different. Yeah, of course, I had plans for this vacation. You plan to attend your cousin's wedding. You plan to do a course in this summer, and all the final year students believed they had plans to join the next course or else to join a firm to earn, and all their dreams are shattered. Yeah, this COVID-19 is unexpected. We had so many dreams with us, we had so many expectations, but in life we should also be prepared, expect the unexpected. And as I said, like, anything might happen in this world. Always things will not go as per our plan. And how do we react in life when unexpected things happen? When such unexpected things happen in life, what do? The thing is, whether do we react or do we respond? Now you might ask me, what is the difference between react and respond? I'm presenting the session now. Maybe right now there is an ant on my hand. Okay, it is biting me. I get irritated, and this at the very moment, if I'm going to kill the ant, I am reacting to the situation. And if I'm going to just throw it away and proceed with my business, I am responding to the situation. The idea is, like, reacting is reflexive. You become emotional. It is an ordinary ant, okay, and it has already harmed you. You cannot help yourself hereafter. It has already bit you, okay, but still you are angry with the ant and you want to kill it, and you feel so happy killing it, and that is what reaction is. You have to respond to the situation. Now that we are facing, experiencing the unexperienced in our life, even the generation before us, they might not have experienced one such situation. We are experiencing it. And at this point of life, what we have to do is we have to respond to the situation, and we should not react to the situation. What is it? How do we react? Okay, the moment COVID was on, I saw people who were really scared. They were imagining themselves with the virus. and they were imagining themselves like contaminating the zone. They were imagining what if something goes wrong with my family, and all the other thoughts were there. And the result was like, you are catastrophizing the situation. What is catastrophizing the situation? When things do not go as per our plan, like 80% of the human being, what we do is we catastrophize the situation. That is, catastrophizing means the thinking error. Okay, your mind is disturbed and you do not know what to think, and you think about all the bad things, and you believe that all the horrible things are bound to happen in your life. The moment you see the you sense that COVID-19 is there, you scared that you might be infected. Okay, so you get scared, you fear a lot for life. Okay, and that is what catastrophizing is. You imagine, okay, there are too many what ifs in my mind. What if I am infected? What if my child is infected? What if the whole world gets infected? Okay, where will they bury me? Okay, will I have get a bed in the hospital? Will I be able to manage in a government hospital? Will there be a medicine? What if things doesn't work according to the plan? What if? And that is what catastrophizing is. Okay, one day, man, okay, he was traveling through the forest area, and it was past time. It was after 7. It was really dark. And when he was traveling through that area, what happened is there was a bang. Okay, there was a sound. He just got down his vehicle to check that he had a flat tire. Now he should help. Like, he thought, okay, I'm just going to replace the tire and proceed with the journey. And he found the condition even more miserable when the toolkit was not available. He was helpless in that situation, and he turned around, and at a distance, okay, at a long distance, he saw some light in a hut, and he assumed it is a farmer's place. So he thought, like, okay, now, excuse me. So now he thought, it is time for me to get the help from the farmer. Let me walk down the path, down the lane, go reach the farmer's house and get the toolkit from the farmer. And when he is walking towards the farmer's house, he had so many what ifs in his mind. A farmer, like, will he have the tools to set right my vehicle? The first what if. And a farmer is residing in this area, okay, and I have a lot of money with me. Will he be will he be greedy? Will he kill me and take away all the money from me? That was the second what if. What if he doesn't have a toolkit? And what if he has a toolkit with him and he is not going to give me? A farmer might have so many weapons. What if he is going to harm me? What if he is going to shoot me? What will I do? I'm alone. So he had all these thoughts in his mind when he was walking towards the hut. Okay, he reached the hut. He was standing there and he said, hello. And there was a reply, yes, climb the stairs and come up. This man, he got scared. Okay, already he was really afraid to travel alone in that path. Okay, he was assuming, what if a snake comes in my way? How am I going to protect myself against all the evils? Okay, he already many what ifs are there in his mind. He climbed the stairs slowly. He went there, and now this man, with all the ideas dumped there, he was ready to face the situation. If the farmer is going to open the door and if he is going to attack me and take away the money from me, I am prepared for that. I am ready for that. I'm going to jump down and run. He was mentally prepared for that. The farmer was very cool. He just opened the door to see who is waiting there. And opening the door, he asked, may I help you? But this man, he already had so many ideas in his mind. He assumed that the man is going to harm him. He jumped from there, got hurt, and that was fatal. So in life, we are assuming too much. We are catastrophizing things. Okay, we have the fear, and this then this thinking error, it just leads to fear. Yeah, I can understand this situation is horrible. Many of to many of us it is unexpected. We have not even heard a word called lockdown. We do not know what quarantine is. We do not know what isolation is. For you, as human being, we are a social animal. We have been together in life, and now the condition, the situation is that we have to keep ourselves away from each other, like keep ourselves away from our loved ones. Now, when you assume things, when you have so many what ifs in mind, the thing actually happens is you have a lot of fear in life. The fear of life, the fear of losing your near and dear ones. You have the fear of losing your job. You have as students, you might have the fear of being identified as a corona batch. You might have the fear whether my exams will happen or not. Will I be asked to attend the exam? Like how are they going to evaluate my papers now? Will my marks be based on the internals? Oh my god, I didn't write it well. I fear that. Yeah. So we have so many things to get afraid of in our mind. At this time, I would like to tell you one thing. If you are going to keep your mind on your physical ills, okay, if you are looking for symptoms of corona in your body every day, definitely you will be infected someday or the other. That is here, okay. Like if your mind is weak, now the report has told that boy who tested corona positive, he died because of the anxiety. Okay, because of anxiety, his sugar was shooting up and the blood pressure was also shooting up, and it became fatal to the boy. So we should be strong here. Okay, it is all about the mind. And of course, I have talking about the fear, I should also talk about the news channels and how they are influencing our minds. Okay, a few days back when I was watching the news in TV, the news the news channel, there was a cover story that talked about people who have the possibility of getting infected by corona. They said O positive people are not likely to be infected. Okay, and the moment the news was there, my husband was so happy. And after a few days, there was a cover story telling that all people with bald hair, they are likely to be affected. I was so happy because I don't have a bald head. And the next day, people who are really plumpy, people who are chubby, they are likely to be affected by corona easily. So all these stories are there. And there were even stories that talking about how long will this corona stay in a vegetable, how long will it stay in your costume, how long will it stay in iron particles, how long will it stay on the guest and the wall and everything. So such news, what are they actually doing it? They are actually influencing our mind. Like it gets really scary when you are watching the news channels. Excuse me, I'm sorry for this. Watching the news channels, you are really scared of the situation. And I'm going to tell you, in today's news, only a few true things are presented. Only a very few things are presented, and the rest, they are assumption. Who said? Did corona come and tell that the bald person I'll attack the bald person and I'll not attack a person who is very thin? No, not at all. What the news stories are doing to us is they are influencing our minds in our wrong way. Of course, I do agree. We ought to know certain things in the news. Okay, we should know, but still, you should know how you should keep yourself away from too much of news. They are kind of advertising. They tell that the world will come to an end in 20 days. Okay, and they are ready for the news on the 21st day. It is not affecting them at all because they know pretty well that it is a business. But we, the society, the members of the society watching the news, we are very badly influenced. Have this in mind, okay? The celebrity who endorse for a product, they wouldn't consume at any price, okay? You can see Nayanthara for a soap ad, maybe for Pierce a soap ad, but you think that she'll be using the soap at any cost? No, not at all. So this is just a business. So please let your minds stay calm, okay, and fear not of all the things that is coming up in the news. Just don't get too scared about this unseen enemy. And when you are really scared of things, when you are scared of the virus, when you are scared of losing the jobs, and when you are worried about your education, I tell, like maybe corona kills you one, but this fear that you have in your mind, the depression that it brings, it is killing you again and again and again in your life throughout. When you are fear, or when you are afraid of something, it is nagging you continuously. But once you come out of the shell, do it, that's it. You will be able to finish it off. So now stop worrying too much, stop being like scared of things too much, because it will result in nothing but just anxiety, and this anxiety will feel you depressed for life. And I'm not telling here that you have to be happy always. You like only positive things will happen in our life. Yeah, of course, life is full of trial and tribulation. I know the virus is here. I know what it is doing. Many of our friends are suffering. They're in the hospital. Like they are really scared. I know how serious the situation is. We have to respond to the situation. We know very well that the virus is here. Okay, but remember, it is already here, and our worrying cannot stop it by affecting us. I'll tell you, once a man was preparing a lemonade, okay, a lemon juice. Okay, he was speaking with his friend over phone, and what he did is he just squeezed a lot of lemon into the water, and now the juice was sour, and he do not know what to do. He thought for a moment, yeah, things like he cannot separate the lemon juice from water. He cannot do that. The only thing that can be done is he can dilute the juice by adding 4 more cups of water to it. So in this situation, the virus is already there. Okay, I cannot go around telling the lemon juice is sour. I have to do something else to balance the situation. The trials are there, the tribulations are there, and how you respond to it, how you balance the situation, it is all in your mental attitude. Change your attitude, change your mental attitude, and the world around you will change accordingly. If you are going to fear something, it will happen to you in your life. And if you think that only good things are going to happen, definitely those good things will come to you in your life. So the trials and tribulations are there, and everybody's life is at risk. And in life, we always have assumptions. Oh, this lady is in US, she's happy. This lady is well placed, she's happy. This lady is has a very well paid job, no problem for her. No, everybody will have their own problem in life. At all points of life, we will face some problem or the other. We cannot be scared. The thing is, we should respond to the trials and tribulations in our life. Yeah, life, we have many challenges in our life. Nobody's life is free from problem. Everything is challenging. Attending the session is challenging for someone. Presenting is challenging for someone. Organizing the session is challenging for someone. We are all working hard. We are determined. We have the mindset that we are going to do it. Yeah, of course, it is challenging. Okay, till now we had been very comfortable addressing people face to face. Now it is challenging for me to look at a blank screen and address people, and to make the session lively. It is challenging. And we are also used to listen to people, okay, in person, and now it is a virtual one, and we are getting used to this virtual presentation. Life throws many challenges, and it is in our hands. We make every challenge an opportunity, and believe God never gives his creations the challenges that it cannot handle. God knows that we can tackle this situation very well. And this, we tell that this is an unexpected one. We didn't imagine it. We didn't expect this to happen at this point of life. See, this is new to us, but not to humanity. Humanity, the human race had they have had many such experience. We had Ebola, we had SARS, we had MERS, and we had the plague in old time. Like we human beings, like we had faced all those situations, and even after that, we are able to shine well in our life at this point. So, and I like once a farmer, he just planted a like he was planting a few trees in his garden, and he planted a fern and a bamboo tree. Okay, and the fern was shooting up in the very few days. He was so happy. And this bamboo, it is a like a very costly tree, but he didn't find the seed sprout at all. Okay, so he was very much worried, but he was watering both the fern as well as the bamboo equally. Like he was watering both. The fern was growing really well. It had been 3 months and not a single sprout from the seed of a bamboo tree. And after 3 months, he just saw one single leaf coming up, lifting its head. He was so happy. And after 6 months, what happened is the fern remains the same. Okay, it has already attained one height. It was so soft and it is an ornamental tree. The ferns, it is there. But this bamboo, it was 6 feet tall, it seems, in a matter of 6 months. So if a tree has to grow really high, if you want to grow really high, you have to make yourself ready for it. And that is what the seed was doing when it was under the ground. It was working on the foundation. Only if the root is strong, the tree can grow really well. Challenges are there. It was challenging for the tree. The tree didn't compare itself with the fern. The tree didn't give up. It took up the challenge. It took up the situation. It was working really hard on it, and it was able to shoot up to heaven when it came out. So challenges are there, and the point is, are you up for the challenge? Like when you see a challenge, people get scared. You become anxious, and you do not know how to handle the situation. And the best part of life is challenges do occur in our life. The first thing that you have to do is, when something comes up, when a problem comes up in our life, you should know what the problem is. Know the challenge that is in front of you. And if you are not having any challenge in your life, you will never have success in your life. If there is no challenge, there is no success. You should know your challenge. You should understand the problem. You should know how to handle it. You should know how to work on it. Problems do come in our life. And the way you deal with the problem, the way how you respond to the problem makes you what you are in your life. You have to get through the problem. We have to get through this situation. The situation is there. It is there throughout the world. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, we are experiencing the same feel. And we have to get through the situation. And many people, the people who fear the situation, they pray God that they go through the situation. They don't want to be infected, and they want to go through the situation, and they are waiting for the day, the day when the situation will be back to normalcy. But challenging people, the people who are really smart, they will grow through the situation. See, I wish you all see the image over there. I know it is a tough situation, and many people, they have quit Chennai because they are not paid. Many of them, they are paid only half the salary, and many of them, they have lost their job. The business is not there. They do not know what to do. Like, our life and livelihood is a challenge now. I do accept it. But a few people, they just want to manage and go through the situation. See, in the PPT, you have a picture. That is the shop that is being opened, like day before yesterday, that the shop was open in a country, and the name of the shop is COVID Essentials. When we are all worrying, one man, he had been seriously thinking of how to get through the situation, how to make money out of it. This COVID Essentials shop, it is a very big showroom, okay, and where they have all the essential products, the necessary products during this pandemic. This is how people think. You have to think different. If you are going to feel sorry about the situation, if you are going to complain the situation, if you want it to over, you say, I want this to get over, I'm not happy with it, I'm not happy with it, I'm not happy with it. You can never be happy with it under any circumstance in life. This man, he just decided to grow through the situation. Growing, yes, growing can be like growing. The process happens at any point of life, and that is the difference between an ordinary person and an extraordinary person. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is the concentration. What do you concentrate on? Whether you are focusing on the negative aspects of life, or whether you are concentrating on the positive aspects of life. The concentration, the thing that you concentrate on. One thing is what you concentrate, and the second thing is how you concentrate. Yes, if you are, excuse me, I have a message there. Somebody is complaining that they cannot see the PPT. Should anything be done from my side?
No, ma'am, we need to pin the presentation, Madhibala.
Okay.
I gave the instruction through chat box even, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yeah.
So the difference is that, like, I would tell my students always, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the little extra effort that you put on any condition, on any situation, at any moment of life. You have to come out with this extra effort. This extra effort is what you concentrate on, what you work on. And this concentration, like if you are concentrating on the positive aspects of life, everything is going to be good with you. And yeah, Milton very beautifully, like years ago, like in his Paradise Lost, he said, the mind in its own place and in itself can make a hell and can make a heaven of hell and hell of heaven. So it is all in your mind, what you are going to do, how you are going to act according to the situation. If you have the positive attitude, you will see like the place will be a heaven to you. If you are going to look only at the negative part of life, it will be a hell itself. So now lockdown is there. Yeah, we all know what are the hardships which we are facing in life. We call it a dark era. We call it a dark period. Okay, we call the year is unlucky. The year is not blessed. Okay, we had all these ideas in us. Now I tell you, this is nothing but a blessing in disguise. A closed mind, if you are having a very closed mind, you will stumble over the blessings of life without even knowing them. The blessing will be right in front of you, but you will fail to recognize your blessing when you have a closed mind. Look at the picture. Like the picture is highly meaningful. There is a crack. If you are going to look at the crack in the building, you will not be able to see the plant, the outgrowth, the growth that is there. A seed is coming to life through the crack that is there. Yeah, it is the darkest period, but still this period has blessed us with so many things in life. The first blessing is, now we all have understood one point in life, that we exist and coexist. You thought like the world is different. I live in my own world. You were very much concerned about your life. You were very much concerned about your family people, your children, and all these ideas were there. But now this corona, it has nailed, it is conveying the message that everything in the world exists and coexists. Everything is connected to each other, irrespective of your color, caste, creed, religion, continent, across the ocean. The feel is the same. The feel is the same. whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a Muslim, or whether you are a man or woman, or whether you are the third gender, everybody's feel is the same. We all have one idea, well, like we all have one fear, okay? And what affects and weakens one affects and weakens all of us. Yeah, if I'm getting scared, if I am if I am feeling dreadful about this virus, definitely the whole world is feeling the same thing. So what is affecting one person is affecting the entire world, and this high philosophy is being taught to us. We have been very so very narrow minded in our life, okay? We fail to understand that the whole world is under one roof. And the second thing is, we never appreciate the present. This is a wonderful quote. The three most costly words in English language is I haven't time. You always complain that you do not have time in life, but now look at the blessing. All time is yours. You had been running early morning, you get up, you run to office, you put your child in the school bus, you need to rush, you have your breakfast, you gobble something, you are in a hurry. And now God has blessed you with the time where you can sit, relax, think of yourself, understand what life is. Maybe drawing was your hobby when you were a child, but now, when you get into the profession, you didn't have time for so many things. Maybe you're good at singing and you forgot that you are good at singing. It is time for you to practice. It is time for you to practice the art that you were interested in, and it is time for you to learn things, do things that you had been wishing to do for a long time. We had been longing for something, and we've always complained that I don't have time in my life. But now all the time is ours. We can sit, relax, live every moment of it. And I tell you all, if you are going to miss it now, I'm not sure. I don't think we'll be getting it in our lifetime after this. I don't think there is any possibility for us to experience the same. And yeah, we had been there in the rat race. We had been running to office. There was a target, there was a deadline, there was a commitment. We longed for recognition. We were attention seekers. We want our boss to appreciate us. We tried to impress people. We had been doing this for a very long time, of course. There was a target. Your CIA is there. Okay, you have to set the question paper, you have to you have to correct the papers. As teachers, we had all those targets within us. But now the idea is, you don't have any target right now. Okay, there was a rat race, and now this is a godsend moment where you can relax, think, ponder over the life. And many of you may tell, ma'am, you talk about all these things, but how about the material laws? How about the professional laws? Understand, my dear friends, and understand, my dear students, this professional success, it is always temporary in your life, and your personal loss is permanent. It is time when you have to isolate yourself. The government is not asking you to the government is asking you to lock yourself. That comes secondary. It is time where you have to take care of yourself, where you have to take care of your family. We have to be responsible at this situation. This lockdown is slowing down our lifestyle. This lockdown is slowing down our lifestyle. It is teaching so many lessons to us. See the next slide. The sky is clearing and the Himalayas is visible. There is a sea change. We never expected this. We never expected this to happen. There is a dropout in the air pollution. Okay, and see, the blissful sight of the blue skies and the joy of breathing clean air provides just the contrast to what we are doing to ourselves. In the rest of the life, we had been polluting the atmosphere so much. We didn't imagine that we didn't understand that the air that we breathe is not breathable. Now we have to understand the fact that we are doing some good to our environment at this juncture of our life. So yeah, to all the audience, I'll be winding up in another 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, and you will get the feedback link soon. So the sky is clearing. The water is like pure. The water is less contaminated. So these are all the blessings in disguise in our life, and it is time for us to update. See, all of us, we do this. We update our phone every now and then. We update all your software every now and then. Okay. And when you feel that you cannot update your software anymore, you cannot update your phone anymore, you upgrade your phone, which means you replace the old phone. You throw the old phone and you replace it with a new one. In life also, we need updation, and this time can be very well used to update ourselves. This is the time where you can concentrate on your growth, on resilience, and you can reform your mind. And this time, the best lesson that this quarantine period, this lockdown has taught us is it has helped us to learn to differentiate between want and need. Need is that those goods and services that are necessary for our survival: food, clothing, and shelter. And the want is that those goods that you consume beyond the necessity of your survival. We had been wanting too many things in our life. We had been running for our wants, but we failed to understand what our basic need is. Yes, now the best lesson that the pandemic has taught us is you should know that food and clothing and shelter, this is what you need in life, and all the other things that you earn in your life apart from this, they are wants. They are wants, but they are not your needs. The basic necessities, you should know what basically life is. Okay, I tell you all these things, I try to motivate you, but still your mind says that no ma'am, though you give me so much of explanation, you give so many examples, and still I feel this lockdown is killing me, and still I feel it boring. I want to go out, I want to hug my friend, I want to have the old the good old times, I want to experience that hereafter. I'm feeling dreadful, I am feeling depressed. If you still feel depressed even after all these examples, I tell you, okay, always your life is you versus you. You have to compete yourself. You you have to be your own competition. You have to train your mind. Or in life, no coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can help you recover. You have to recover from what is happening to us at this point of life. You have to bring the bring the positive side of you, and nobody the other can actually never help you in getting through the situation. Now, yeah, you have a lesson from the eagle. Look at the eagle sitting there. Actually, the lifetime of a eagle is 70 years, it seems. And you know what the eagle does after 40 years? After 40 years, the eagle, it just flies to a greater height. Okay, it takes a decision and it flies to a greater height. It sits on the top of a hill, or on the top of a hill in an isolated place. Okay, and the beak is now bent, so it just fights itself against a rock. Okay, and it does away with the old beak. It removes the old beak from the body. It waits there for 15 days for the new beak to come out. And it knows well that now the bird is full of feathers. It is so heavy and it cannot fly anymore if it is going to have so much of feathers in it. It is very heavy. So it clips its feathers. It clips its wings. Okay. It is a painful process. It removes the wings one by one. It removes it. It shapes it. And it waits for the new feather to grow. Okay, and when it is done, it undergoes the painful process, and then it flies alone in the sky. And after that, it lives for 30 more years. So now if you feel that your wings are clipped, if you feel that you have lost your freedom completely, you are like, if you feel that you are imprisoned, okay, inside your house, the thing is, our wings are clipped. And this point, okay, this isolation, this solitude, you have to take it up, this hard decision, you have to take it up all, okay. And you are making yourself prepared. The moment where you stay at home, you are safe, and you are preparing yourself to live for another 30 years or 50 years, or I'm blessing you all with another 100 years. Of course, the moment you are there, forced to stay there inside your house, you are preparing yourself for another 100 years in your life. So we have to undergo this painful process. And if you think that this, like, you all think that this pandemic is infectious, it is contagious, I tell you one thing. Of course, the pandemic is infectious, the pandemic is contagious, but let our love be infectious. Love all. Okay, maybe we are separated, okay, but still the ship is the same. The love is there in us. We are all connected, and let our hope be contagious. Spread positivity wherever you can in your life. Tell people that we will get through the situation. Tell people this will be okay soon. Make people believe that everything will be fine soon. And I can foresee, as I said earlier, this is not a very new situation to us. It has been already there. The plague was there. The SARS was there. What happened? We human beings bounced back. After every dreadful event that happened in 2015, we had this Chennai floods, and everybody said Chennai is done. In 2019, come to Chennai. Look at the people over there. They have so much of confidence. They believe in themselves. They bounced back. Okay. And this condition is not, this is just a condition in our life. And this is not the conclusion. Definitely we will bounce back. I can foresee the time, okay, when we'll all be together. I can foresee the time when the vaccine would be ready. I can foresee a time when this corona will be one simple thing in our life. So in this war, I just want you all to be a victor. Please don't become a victim. Lock yourself up. Slow down in your life, but still stay united with your friends. Spread all the positivity. It is like build your immunity, both physically and mentally. When you are mentally immune, definitely you can keep yourself away from this unseen enemy. And thank you a lot. Thanks so much for listening to the session patiently. And I hope this session would have been of some use to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Participants, I have posted the attendance link in the chat box. You can fill it within 15 minutes. It will be open only for 15 minutes. And this is for your kind information. Next comes the vote of thanks. Is there any questions, participants? Is there any doubt? You can clarify. You can speak. Or you can post it in the chat box. Is there any doubt?
Ma'am, the link is not working.
Just a second, yeah, just a second. Is there any other question, participants? You can ask questions to the resource person. Yeah, we have posted. Actually, the attendance word also got connected with the link. That's the problem. Okay. Now you can fill it. It will be open only for 15 minutes. Is there any question?
Yeah, I think there is a question
in the chat box, ma'am.
Yeah.
How to face distractions when with our goals?
Yeah, that is actually a great question. As I said, the challenges and distraction do come, the hurdles do come in our way. Okay, and now it is good. You are ready. You are expecting some distraction. It is all the thing is you have to train your mind in such a way. Okay, you have to be confident about what you do. when you are really confident about your action, when you are determined in your life, nothing can distract you. So thank you for the question.
How to overcome to the hurdles in our life?
Yeah, almost the same question. So somebody is telling how to uh, live life without money. Yes, I have to tell this. I have to understand. Yeah, we have to understand that many people are struggling hard at this point of life with their livelihood. So all that we can do is help people. Like we can help people, like those who are able to manage the situation. You have to come out and help people at the moment of crisis, and that is how we can, yeah, help people. Actually, so many messages here, so I'm not able to follow.
Yes, just a second, ma'am. Okay. Now can you, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, now recently I posted one link. That's what attendance link. We didn't post any feedback link. Participants, we have posted only the attendance link. You can fill it. Some has filled and already submitted it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, then let's wind up the session, ma'am. I think no other questions. So now I request Dr. L. Sangeeta, Department of History, HOD, Department of History, APC Mahalakshmi College for Women, to give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. I am happy to deliver vote of thanks in this section. First, I thank God for making this section a successful one. Next, I thank our management president, sir, for the letting us permission. I would like to thank both of principals of APC Mahalakshmi College for Women and VOC College of Education. I thank our resource person, Mrs. Navukarasi Gomati. Also, I thank the faculty of both colleges for their support. Last but the least, this section was success all because of you participants, students and teachers from schools and colleges. Thank you so much for attending the section. Thank you, one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. Thank you, and thank you, participants. So participants, you can leave the room. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you all. Hope so many have submitted the attendance link. Actually, it is attendance link, not the feedback link. So you can leave the room. Thank you for your cooperation. And now, Garasima, that was quite interesting. The session went very well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Navukarasi, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We enjoyed the session a lot. It was wonderful session with beautiful explanation. Thanks to the entire team of organizers.
You can introduce yourself. You can introduce yourself to the forum. Actually, I'm not able to see who is talking.
Shamir, ma'am.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm Sandra Shamir Annedam from Viva College. I'm from Mumbai, Viva College, Virar.
Oh, you are from Mumbai. Great to know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for feedback.
Even last time, ma'am, ma'am, we had attended your lecture. It is really good to attend your lecture. We are enjoying a lot. Thank you for such a precious lecture.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamir, ma'am. Thank you. So participants, you can leave the room. Thank you so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Let's all meet tomorrow, but about 2 o'clock again. So what Devi Priya has posted is a wrong link actually. The word attendance got connected. That's the mistake there. So we will ask the resource person. If she gives the approval, we will post the PPT in the WhatsApp group. So no issues, dear participants. After getting the approval from the resource person, I will be posting the PowerPoint in the WhatsApp group. So this is for your kind information.
Yeah, Shubhaji, I can share the PPT with you, and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can post it in the group. No issues.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay.
I will.
See
I
you
will.
tomorrow. Thank you. Bye, bye.
Yes, ma'am. See you. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, ma'am. So participants, you can please leave the room. Thank you for your cooperation. So actually today we will not post any feedback link. Tomorrow only feedback link. So Kausi Devi ma'am, attendance link even is enough today. Tomorrow we will be posting the feedback link and we'll be considering you'll be getting the certificates tomorrow. Thank you. So I have posted, the PPT in the group. Link open ஆகுது Shivagami Sundari. Thank you. Sangeeta. நீங்க கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடி ஸ்க்ரோல் பண்ணி பாருங்க அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் லிங்க் இருக்குதுப்பா இருக்குது சாட்லயே பாருங்க இருக்குது Thank you Dhanalakshmi.